the cosmetics for the month.
Oh, I was muted. I just noticed that. Again, are we gonna start with cosmetics again? Oh, god damn it!
It's the most relevant news that's out right now, and
You just have a beef with one of the. You just have a thing with the cosmetics again. I know.
I had beef when they came out. So this happens all the time when I'm writing the topics,
Yeah.
and when I'm writing PI questions too. Like I'll have a beef, or I'll be like, man, I'm gonna go on a rant this week. Like something's gonna happen, and then it takes. I was like, we just got done with a podcast, and so I'm like, why can't shit happen when we're like getting ready for something? Why is it gotta be like a week down the road, or like 2 weeks down the road, or an entire month? Why can't I just be like go into something already like jazzed and salty about something? Like I have to have time to like think about it and like cool down, or I get distracted with something else.
I mean, okay, we can talk about it if you want. I guess. I mean, it's the same. We talked.
What do you want to talk about, BCG?
I
feel like it's the only new news we have, really, because we already
honestly,
talked
I have nothing.
Yeah, Alpha 1's not going on. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in the world, but like none of it's Ashes of Creation related. And the only thing Ashes of Creation related to talk about, if you don't want to do a bunch of theory crafting stuff, is cosmetics.
I mean, you had a point there. I'm not gonna deny that. There is really not much to talk about.
We last podcast we took a bunch of off-topic stuff. Like
we
it was
always go off topic. That's nothing new.
But it was a good off-topic. Yeah, like it took the entire podcast. We talked about.
Okay. We can talk about your cosmetic thing. It's about the we talked about this just the last podcast.
We talked about stuff similar to it last podcast.
And
we'll go down. Let's not skip straight to that. Let's go down the list.
Let's start right with it. Let's just get right into it. Because I have nothing. In case somebody's wondering why I don't have anything I want to talk about. Yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks for me. And I have not really been on Ashes a lot, to be honest. So yeah, but yeah, we can talk about.
If you've been following the last couple podcasts we've been doing, BCG had his camera turned off. He's been on a bucket in the woods doing the podcast. He's had water damage in his apartment, and so now
it's
he's
more than just water damage.
But back to actual like podcasty topics. The cosmetics overall. What does everyone think about them? Before we get into the salty topic, or like the not salty topic.
I mean, the dope. I really enjoy them. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy the cosmetics.
I'm really happy with them.
I'm really happy with them. One of the questions I've been
the snail doesn't fit in, but the rest is.
I feel like that's like Ash's charm, where they like combine things and put things together that don't always fit, but they kind of do go together.
I mean, the color scheme fits, and that's it.
The color scheme fits.
That's it.
They're supposed to be like some like.
How is my audio? I think I have echo in here, and I do apologize.
I don't hear an echo that much.
Okay.
Soot shell.
Okay, so we're going to talk about. Wait, I'm starting at the top, and it says the Jade Sigil.
Yeah, the Jade Sigil. The belt is the first cosmetic.
It's a belt. So I mean, it's hard to talk about the accessories just because we don't really know how well they'll look with the other things. But
some of them are like. Some of them are like headpieces, some of them are belts, and then some the armor itself is like a full set, and you're not supposed to like be able to mix and match stuff. Like the accessory doesn't like overwrite some stuff. Is how they've been explained in the past. So like if you get a helmet accessory, it doesn't overwrite the cosmetic set. And so like I when we get armor pieces, I'm very like, or like how like what slot does this fill, and can you wear it with the set? Like if you buy all this, you need to wear all this together.
I mean, that's a belt, and I don't think you can.
Yeah, so like
I assume the system works like Guild Wars 2, where
Yeah,
you got the outfits and then you have like the individual like transmog system. And this is
yeah.
part of the individual transmog system.
That's kind of how that's how I see it too.
But yeah,
So
I mean, it's hard to say how it'll
the
look
belt
without
is a
like other things.
the belt is a standalone thing. Like when you're looking at this belt, it's like going under that assumption of that's how the system works. You have to look at this belt like it's a standalone thing.
I guess it's a good looking belt.
Yeah, yeah. You could probably do some cool barbarian.
You mean
I
like
get like
topless and just have the belt on, belt pants,
I
nothing else?
totally get some Conan vibes from it. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it depends on what you put it with. I think you could easily put this with like a heavy set and just get, especially if you have some other stuff that have the more samurai theme to it.
Yeah.
Like if you have like shoulders that have a samurai theme, then you could put this with it. Be good looking set.
To the Jade Dragon and all kinds of like Jade is definitely the like dominant theme of this set. But
What I'm wondering is how this is gonna look as a 3D render.
they're really
And
good at
then,
like the finer details
I
on
know, and
stuff.
then
Like
how are you gonna top that? Because we known for the longest time, but we now just recently gotten proof that in-game cosmetics will look better than the ones we get from the cash shop. But how do you top something like this?
they've always said that. It's not like something new. They've always said like in-game cosmetics will look better, like the best, like or equally or better than what you get in the store. There's a lot of stuff that we've seen that proves that. It's also like
It's kind of subjective.
yeah, it's subjective. It's very
Like
subjective.
I don't think this belt will go with a lot of the things I normally go for, but and I'm sure there would be other belts of a similar that could be visually more impressive. Add like more armor to it. Have a fancier thing in the middle, like fancier buckle.
Jade Dragon.
So, yeah, cool beans.
All right, so the next one after this, sorry, I'm all over the place. I do apologize.
Now we're on the snail pet.
Okay, what's up with the snail?
It's a snail.
It's a snail dog.
Let me see.
It's got a little horn. It's got 2 little eyes or antenna. I don't know what the fuck those are. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with snail anatomy. Do snails have eyes?
Yeah, they do, I think. Don't they?
You always see them with eyes in like cartoons and stuff, and they're at the end of the antenna. But like, I don't know if those are actually their eyes or not.
Wait, are those antennas or eyes? How do snails see?
Those are the eyes. I assume that it's like a snail that have their little. I think they're eyes. They have little things that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know snail anatomy.
Oh, I know they
I would have
taste
sworn they're
kind of
always eyes. Maybe
weird.
they're just antennae, but like
But like,
snails
am
got
I
the-
assuming they're always eyes because I see them in like cartoons and shit as like when they're drawn as that like that they have the eyes at the end of at the end of the antenna, or are those just antenna with like bulbs at the end?
For some reason, I thought
No,
snails
I think they're
navigate
actually eyes.
through vibrations.
Yeah, I think they're actually eyes. I mean, I don't know how good they are as eyes.
Hold
but
on. I'm just gonna.
The Googles is telling me that those things are eyes.
Okay,
Do snails have eyes?
Google search. Google is your friend.
However,
I don't know.
snails do have eyes and vision, though the exact location of the eyes and their use depends on the specific type of snail, so they are eyes.
Yeah. So yeah, they have cool eyes. Apparently feeds off crystals, and then
This is gonna be a boring podcast. I'm like
No,
how?
it's
so
not.
they're absorbing crystals, and then they're I assume they're producing something with the crystals that is valuable, creating a viscous and workable reagent that's hardens greatly when heated. So
Interesting flavor text. We'll see if it like.
they make slime
Well,
out
all
of
right. So
crystals that hardens.
there's a lot of animals that eat stuff, and then we use that we use the shit. Like there's a monkey, or there's a type of ape that like eats coffee, and then we use it. It eats coffee beans, and then we use it shit for actual coffee, and that's like some high
I thought
quality,
it was
very
some kind
expensive.
of badger, but yeah.
It might,
Can I
it might
go
be a
off?
bad.
Can I go off topic for a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, so we know the Renkai are like samurai and all that jazz. I want to know now which race or sub race or how they're gonna introduce more of more Viking themed things.
That's the
I think
Dunir.
are the Dunir? I mean, we've seen some kind of Viking vibes with the Rinkai in the past, where they were kind of
Yeah, kind of, but not really.
kind of
Same with the
both.
Dunir. That's what I'm just wondering, you know.
Yeah, Dunir are supposed to be like the Norse mythology, like Norse Viking kind of like architecture and cultural themed race. The Renkai are your Asian themed.
Okay, anyways, let's get back to. Sorry, I'm like literally all over the place.
Jaded Drudger.
This straight up, all right, so like I can't remember the name of the movie right off the top of my head, but there's
the one with I'm a Damon. You mean that one? Where
Great Wall?
Yeah, the Great Wall.
Great Wall, yeah.
I mean, I thought Great Wall. They were like, I don't know.
Matt
I guess
Damon.
maybe.
It's a jade monster dog. It looks good. I like it. When I see it, I think of that movie.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
No,
I
you
really
know,
like the head. I guess.
no, you know what's funny? The second you said the movie, I thought of Matt Damon, and the second after, I jumped to Team America. And
What were you saying, Staggerson?
I really like the head. I don't know how I feel about the dog body.
The
But
jade fin, I really like. I agree with you. I'm questioning like how big it's supposed to be. Like the base. So like, well, you see this with mounts a lot. Is that like it's very questionable at their size, and then you see like this cosmetic, and you like they go based on the cosmetics. You could guess a bunch of different sizes. And then when we get them in-game renders, it's like that's not really the size I thought I was thinking about.
I mean,
With
it's not gonna be huge. I can already tell you.
yeah, it's not gonna be huge. And then with this, I'm thinking like fucking goblin dog, like goblins riding dogs.
No,
Like D&D.
I think it's gonna be more like horse sized. Maybe
I think it's close to horse, maybe a little
The
shorter.
legs don't strike me as like horse-sized legs, though.
I guess I'm looking at the saddle.
Yeah, exactly.
The saddle. Well, I'm looking at the saddle too, and the saddle strikes me as like a little person's gonna be riding this.
No, like here's what I'm thinking. I think like it is a normal saddle. It's not gonna be as tall as a horse. Like there's no doubt about it. But it's not gonna be a lot shorter. It's not gonna be like
the legs strike me as like dog-sized legs. Like it looks proportionate to the body, but I don't know like how big like the body's supposed to be. And based off of the saddle on it, I'm thinking like this is a very beefy dog that is gonna have like you see like orcs inside Lord of the Rings riding wargs, and you could definitely have that, but you also see like D&D and stuff like that. You see like the goblins riding goblins riding goblinoid dogs, not like dogs. They're scared of dogs and they'll kill dogs on sight. But
So I'm wondering if this is going to be similar in size to the fox.
the fox.
I could definitely see
The
that.
fox, or maybe the what's this other cat? So I'm just like comparing like its stance to see like, because I know they've been kind of talking a lot about the skeletons. that they're using for this. So I'm trying to figure out which skeleton they're using and see if that's
Yeah.
any indication of what the
Maybe
size
one of the bear ones.
See, all right, so like I'm thinking like if you're gonna use a skeleton, you're probably using the same. You're using like the same animation set too. You don't have to, but like I'm imagining you're using the same animation set when you do that. I don't see this thing having a bear animation set. I don't see this thing using the fox skeleton either.
I think it's similar, more similar to the fox, just the way it holds its head and its legs. But I don't know.
Uh,
No.
All right, next the armor set.
Carmine Carapace.
Yeah, straight up, just spear wielding samurai armor.
Yeah, it looks sick. Not sure what else to say about that. I might hide the helm if I can, but I really like
I don't like
the
the shoulder
shoulders.
part. Yeah, the shoulder part.
Oh, I like them.
I go through
the fluffy
phases.
part.
I go through phases on that stuff. Like sometimes I like big shoulder pieces, and sometimes I just don't like shoulders at all. And so like I like do like shoulderless. Some of these cosmetics we talked about in the past, is like you can't turn the helmet off.
Or it'd be weird.
Yeah, like you see, like with cosmetics.
No,
like this,
no, it's like straight up like they've confirmed that you can't turn the helmet off.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
It's on some of the sets. I don't know if this is one of the like I don't know if it's all sets or but yeah, you can't turn the helmet off on some stuff. Like
okay,
the
you see, like,
Face of Sorrow,
wait,
you can't turn the helmet
time
off.
Time out. I got a question now. So we know there are cosmetics that change the whole. There are a complete body skin where it changes the rays and everything in the way.
And
your
I'm not
skin-
happy about it. Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like if this is a full plated armor set, right? If the cosmetic is mostly armor, then you should be able to, change things or take things off individually. Because there's no like real, from what I can see, there's no real like race change or size change or whatever. It's just it's a Renkai in samurai armor. End of conversation. So if it's just the armor set, then you should be able to.
But it probably changes size based on the race you're. Like it's not like so like other like that's gonna be any armor sets. They're gonna be conformed to the race's size pattern, like size and stuff like that,
Yeah,
which can be hard to do for Tolnar.
I feel like that's stupid.
Well,
like,
you see that in every game. Like every game that does a full set thing, they sell it, and then like they don't allow like changes like that. Like you bought that set, you're wearing the set.
Yeah,
and it's conformed to your race.
Usually you can like hide elements of it,
yeah.
like helm, and I've seen
helmet. I've seen
allow shoulders to also be hidden.
I don't know if you can hide the shoulders in Guild Wars 2 on the full sets. I know you can hide the helmet.
I think you can.
You can hide your shoulders on normal stuff. I don't know about the sets though.
I mean, what sets are we talking about?
Usually, whatever sets your set. I guess I haven't tested, but usually your settings.
I mean, there are certain sets that are full body. Last time I checked, and then there are sets that are individual pieces that go together.
We're talking about the full body sets, like sets, not like.
I'll find out in a second, and then we'll.
He's logging in right now. Everyone's been playing Guild Wars 2 lately because Guild Wars 2 is having their expansion come out in February.
It is. Which one is this one?
End of Dragons is coming out in February.
I'm kind of excited. I want to see what the other factions are. But yeah, going back to this, I really like it.
Yeah, it's a dope. I mean, it's a dope concept art for a cosmetic. No doubt about it.
And the armor usually ends up looking very much either the exact same as like normally. Normally, we talked about this last time. There are some outliers, but normally the set ends up looking either equally as good or even better than the cosmetic art.
Yep, you're right. It actually you can hide your gloves and your shoulders, but it doesn't actually show up for the outfit. Only the helm hide shows up for the outfit.
Yeah, for full outfits on Guild Wars 2, and I can't think of other games that do it either. Like you can usually only hide helmets, and on some of these. I'm not entirely sure about all of them, but I like you can't hide helmet on these sets.
I mean,
This could be a change
let
thing
me-
too. Like granted,
I
the
feel like they could
you see,
change it.
like I do understand that certain cosmetics is gonna be full skin, but like with this one, I can like see myself running around with no helmet on, right? And so there's also like a reason I'm no longer like looking at the armor cosmetics because of that whole like thing that it's a full body cosmetic that you cannot individually change out pieces. But yeah, it's dope. I might even end up buying it anyways.
I'll be interested to see what the 3D model, because it could end up looking like the 3D. Like we got the 3D render of that barbarian kind of set in the last live stream, and we were all talking about like how like in the last live stream, it looked exactly like how the cosmetic looked, but the player character underneath wasn't nearly as bulky as the character that was in the 3D render, and so the armor just ended up looking weird on the character.
Yeah.
Which one are we talking about?
Last live stream, like last podcast, we talked about the live stream a lot, and they showed a what the fuck was that costume?
Was it the Fate?
No, it wasn't the Fate one. It was
It's so weird to do a podcast. Just can I just throw this in here really quick?
Go ahead.
It's so weird to do a podcast not in my regular place.
I feel like it's quieter for some reason.
Oh yeah, it is quiet. It is. My brother lives like up on a mountain, and so it is a lot quieter. But I've been doing the podcast at the same desk for 4 years, so now I'm sitting somewhere else. It's weird. I don't know what to do with my hands and shit.
Rast Legacy. That was the set that we saw the 3D render for recently. Rast Legacy. And so like you look at the 3D render, and we talked about how the feet look like fucking clown shoes and like all that stuff, and like the reason for that is because like we came to the conclusion that the reason for that in that podcast is because like the character model in the 3D render is not nearly as bulky and fills out the armor as much as in the concept art. And I think that might happen here too.
You think so?
It'll be interesting to see, because you can see a little bit of the skin.
I mean, honestly, the day they show off all the races and you can for the first time put on the bought cosmetics you bought on any of the races, that's going to be an interesting day.
Yeah,
because I feel like a
So
lot of people don't realize how these cosmetics actually work.
so most of the most of the races, and I've had this concern since the very beginning, and they said this wouldn't be a problem. But like in Guild Wars 2 and like other games too, you have a problem to where like the more unique the player's character skeletons don't get love. So like if you're playing a char, the armor doesn't look right. None of the armor looks right on a char. I think the same things could probably. I'm afraid that the same thing might happen here. It's because most of the races are fairly humanoid in size. So like scaling the armor to a more humanoid shape isn't the problem. When you get to Tolnar, we're talking about fairly more exotic. Like you have the humanoid skeleton, then you have the reptilian skeleton, the mammalian skeleton, and based on like other customization options you have there, you could it'll be interesting to see how much love the Tolnar skeletons, other skeleton types get.
Totally. Mm-hmm.
But most of the races are just like different sized humans, which is why I'm fairly like I'm more on the Tolnar side of things because they're the more unique of the races. Everyone else is just orc, bigger, bulkier human, dwarf, smaller, stoutier human, elf, thinner human.
I mean, everybody has these big ideas to, when it comes to the Tolnar.
I'm not even saying the big ideas. I'm saying what they've said is fact. Like they said, when you go into character customizations, you'll have 3 skeletal choices. You have mammalian, which is the animal race skeleton. You have humanoid, and then you have reptilian skeleton. And we've seen the 3D, and we've seen the shadows, and we talked about a lot of times, is like they're supposed to have tails and all that stuff on all this stuff. We've seen some with spider legs on their back. We've seen like, and then that's not even bringing up the fact that like racial skins, the elemental ones, you could probably still do like the humanoid shape, but like the angel and demons, like those have tails and like they're gonna have varying size. Like the demons are gonna have tails in varying sizes probably, and then angel you have the wings, and like this was that like the armors was unique on them too. So
I mean, I wouldn't. I think like a toner, like a reptile toner, in like samurai armor would actually look pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
in theory, it should look badass, but a lot of times the race, like the people that like the races that have different like non-human shaped skeletons, the armor doesn't look quite right on them. They don't get as much love as some of the other races.
I mean, at this point, they should get all the love they need. I mean, it's what 2021, 2022. We still have not seen any of the orc races. Like,
but I'm not. That's the thing too. That's the thing. What I'm saying with this set too is like I think it'll look good on an orc, but I want to see what it looks like on a human or a dwarf, because I don't think a human's gonna fill this armor out as much. Like I think it's the samurai set, it'll look good on anybody, really and truthfully. This set I'm not too worried about, but like on the Rast Legacy set, because it was on a human, it wasn't nearly as big and bulky enough. It didn't fill out the armor, and so it didn't look right to us.
yeah, I can see that.
Seeing this set on a dwarf is going to be interesting. On a human, I think it'll be fine. It'd still be fairly interesting. It's not going to be it's not going to be as big and bulky as it looks on an orc though. But I'm not.
I think we're going in circles.
Yeah, a little bit.
We always do.
Boat.
The boat.
Ship.
I like it, but I have a lot of boats I like. I'll probably get it in case it's not in a class I have. But
I looked through my boats just the other day. I'm like, I have way too many boat skins at this point. I don't even know which one to use. Honestly,
I have
to stop buying cosmetics.
That's the thing I want to bring up at the end too. Is like, I'm gonna bring that up later.
Okay, so
it's a good looking boat.
It is
very solid.
I cannot tell what size it is though.
I feel like it's. Yeah, I don't either.
That's what I want to bring up at the end.
All right, then bring it up.
Yeah,
now.
that could be like one of the smaller size, which is cool because I think a lot of my.
It only has 2 sails, so it cannot be that big.
All right, we're moving.
Yeah, it only has 1 mast. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. You could judge it off the mast, but like because it doesn't say that, it should say, and like this is something I've been arguing. And this is a criticism. This is not like me straight up saying like.
It is criticism. Yoni's being really toxic right now. He has taken up the role of the Lord of Salt. I herefore now renounce my title, and everybody has a good life.
Fucking we've been going for this. We've been selling cosmetics since 2018. When was the first set? The first Necromancer set?
It had to have been 18 because the Kickstarter was in
17, December 17.
It was the first Necromancer set was sold at the very end of 2017, I think. The very first Necromancer set. We've been doing this for about 3 or 4 years now. Why are the fucking freeholds, the mounts, why is it not specified like what type of thing this goes on? Like, why are we guessing what type of ship this goes on? Why does it not say, oh, this is a galleon skin? Oh, this is a frigate skin?
Because they haven't freaking mapped it out.
Same thing with the freeholds. Why are we guessing? Oh, this is a build. This is your house skin. This goes on a forge.
Because
This
they
goes
look
on a.
cool. Cosmetics sell because they look cool.
But you're not. But you're. So people are buying these cosmetics, and they're going to be guessing. And they're buying the cosmetics, and they're not even, like, most people are gonna be not even gonna be using half of them. I'm not.
I'm surprised if I use like 75% of them.
That-
I'll probably
I-
use like 5 to 10% maybe.
But
Yeah.
all right? So for you, is that a thing, like, oh, I just have too many. I'm probably not gonna use them all. Like I'm just like, or
that's
is that
fine,
a thing of I literally can't use this? Like the thing I'm putting right here is because, like, I bought this cosmetic. In the shoes of somebody that just bought like one freehold skin, but it's not a freehold building that they're using. They've bought a completely useless freehold skin.
Yeah, that's why also, like, I brought this up a while ago, and everybody was like, oh, this is a stupid idea. And okay, some people on the Discord, you're just fucking idiots. I'm sorry to say, but stop talking on the Discord every day. Find another hobby. And a lot of people, including all three of us, we bought cosmetics that we're probably never gonna end up using. Right? We bought it out of support for the game. We bought it out of, I don't know, gotta catch them all, I guess, that sort of thing. But yeah, there are a lot of cosmetics that I currently own that I know I don't have any, like, real use for. Right? I already know that I'm probably not gonna use any of the armor cosmetics towards the end of the game, towards like max level, or when I'm playing like on a regular basis every day, and I already have like better cosmetics from inside the game, so I'm not gonna use any of the armor. I might use some of the mount skins, right? And I might use some of the accessories and some of the freehold skins, but I have so many fucking cosmetics now that I'm never gonna use. I wish I could trade them in or trade them with other people. That would be really productive.
No.
Why
no,
not?
No,
That gets
no,
you the
no.
pay to win.
Why would it be
Yeah,
pay to win?
It's because it supports RNG. Because you could sell.
I would not
like,
gain. I would not gain anything in game if I trade
But
my
if you're
cosmetic
trading them,
Well, if
you
you're
can
able to trade it, then you'll be like,
you can
give
able to
me
sell
this
them.
No,
gold and I'll
not
trade you
not
this
in game.
cosmetic.
Not in game. I mean in the inventory, in your account inventory, right? Where you have all
Yeah,
your
but you
items.
could
If I
same
want
thing.
to, no, it's not the same. Why is it pay to win? If I want to say, hey, Stackerson, I have this ship cosmetics. Do you want to trade another ship cosmetic for it?
Because you could easily sell. Like, people could easily sell that to somebody. Like, hey, I have this.
But
ship
how
cosmetic
is it pay to win if it's not?
that you can't? You can't. Because you're
I'm
buying.
trading cosmetics. I'm not paying people. I'm trading cosmetics, one for another.
Because I give you a cosmetic and I say, give me.
Yeah, you
1,000
say,
Yeah, but
hey,
that
give me gold or
that's-
give me money.
Yeah, but that's a pay to win. That's just, if you take that deal, then that's
But
outside
they're
the
not
game.
supporting RM tiers. They don't
Alright,
want to support
just-
RM tiers.
Then just, then yeah. I mean, I stopped buying cosmetics for money
And there'll
reasons.
be also people in the game who will be like, if you buy me the skin, I'll give you this gold.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't want to support
dude,
RM
it's,
tiers.
It's gonna be stuff like that is gonna be in game anyways.
Yeah,
but
it's
that
gonna be.
just enables it, makes it very easy.
Yeah, it enables it. And that's part of like you're gonna have RMTs either way. And like Stevenson said, this you're gonna have RMTs either way. But it depends on the level of like how much you're like support, like how much you're giving them. Like, what are you giving them to work with? And he doesn't really like the subscription based thing is supposed to like counteract that a bit. Like, even in subscription based games, you still see RM tiers. They're gonna have moderators that do like they're gonna have moderators and GMs that are inside the game. They're like watching for that kind of stuff, but like they don't like want to do as much as possible to not give them tools to work with.
What did we start out with again?
We were talking about the boat and how we don't know what kind of boat it is.
How did
And then
we
I think we got
said-
on like
from
we have
both of
skins
this?
that we don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I think
No,
we
no,
were going down
no.
a path of like people
That-
having cosmetics and not being able to use them. And
Yeah,
I never
that's-
got it. I had a
that's-
retort for that, but
That's the thing I'm trying to like. That's the thing I was trying to say that for the end, but yeah.
I mean, we're 40 minutes in. How about you get us going? Because you've been trying to talk about this for like the whole time now. So what's the big thing you want to talk about, Yoni?
Are we already 40? The stream's only been going for like 37 minutes, but yeah. All right. So the next thing, we'll get into the actual argument here. The freehold skin. Thoughts on it before I start arguing about it.
I think
Before we.
it's really good. I guess my first thing, I don't know if it's Chrism, but it's like this thing is flipping huge. So I'm like wondering, like a lot of them, they look like, you know,
That's
they'll probably
part of
fit.
the argument. That's part of it.
Okay, I think it looks cool. I'm probably gonna get it, but what the heck?
Can
is
I
this thing
say
for?
this thing I said earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't watch a lot of anime because I have self-respect. And even I noticed this looks a lot like that thing they have in
Everyone
in
on the
Naruto.
Discord has been calling it the Ninja Arena.
Okay, called the Ninja Arena. And even from this distance, if I look closely, those are stadium seats. So this thing from the concept design right now looks massive. Like looks massive, right? The 3D render that we're gonna get is not gonna be anything to that scale. So that's why I'm not touching this one. Because I cannot imagine you having a freehold and you're having a freaking stadium on there. It just doesn't make sense. So I don't understand this freehold skin. I really don't.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Like, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. It looks
fucking
good.
dope. Looks dope. Always, they
But there are
always look
several
dope.
arguments here that has to be raised. Number one, what the fuck does this go to? Do you just have a fucking arena on your freehold that does nothing? Like, does this go? Does this
I'd
freehold skin?
assume that
So like
if
that's
you could
the
have an arena,
part of the
not necessarily at launch, but the intent would be they would add abilities for people to have duels, maybe like a tournament system or something in there. And I feel like that's not like a stretch to think like they could
for
do
like
in the future.
one-on-one duels. I could totally understand, but you could do that
Uh-huh.
anywhere in the world. You could do that anywhere in the world. You don't need to have a freehold building like the
You don't
freehold
need
buildings.
to, but I mean, it's nice to have something like this to host tournaments and stuff.
I agree. So like, but like, so like, it doesn't like, so like, that's part of the argument we were having earlier.
You know what I think
We don't
this
know.
should be?
It doesn't state what this goes to, what building this goes to.
This should be a node building skin that the mayor.
People have been saying like, hey, this should go to a guild freehold.
No. You know how you have military nodes? So
yeah.
If you're the leader of a military node, you should be able to have access to certain cosmetics and put them over buildings. Let's say your military node, there's like an arena or a coliseum building in that node, and you can pop this on. Because otherwise, if this is a freehold skin, for me, it doesn't.
Freehold.
It doesn't.
Freehold building skin. Freehold building skin. Not guild freehold. This is let's like a player freehold. If this turns out to be guild freehold, then that's a whole other argument. That's another bag of worms to go into. But the argument from earlier is that we don't know what I think. Like these aren't labeled to what buildings they go to. That's one argument. Number two, this is fucking like based on the cosmetics. This is fucking huge. You don't know how big, like there's several buildings that we've gotten in the past that you don't know the scope to, and you like, how are they going to fit on your how are they supposed to fit on your freehold? There's like, freeholds are like a quarter of half to a quarter size of a football field. I believe is like, I don't remember off the top of my head. They're a decent size, like freehold plots are of decent size, but there are several buildings that just seem fucking massive, and this is one of them. There's a third argument here, is that we stated last time, and we like it's been stated in the past, is that like freehold buildings aren't supposed to change your terrain. This straight up dips into the ground with like the steps and stuff, like the arena itself, and there are some steps into it.
I wonder with that if you're taking the concept a little too literal, because I think they're like the architecture is designed in a way where it doesn't necessarily have to dip. I guess
it's concept art. At the end, it's gonna look differently. But Stackerson, regarding the thing that is in 2 weeks that is not yet being announced, maybe let's add a question similar to this one.
Okay.
In regards to size, so Yoni doesn't flip out. Yoni looks like he's about to explode.
I posed 3
he just
questions.
Gets very passionate about this.
I get passionate about the project, and then like we only have cosmetics to really talk about half time. So like I hammer home on the cosmetics, and like we've been arguing these things. Like there are some criticism about how the shop's managed, and like how some like a lot of these things we've had criticisms about for 4 years. It's not like I'm not like a bunch of the arguments I bring up, I use cosmetics as a reference point, and I think that's why people get like, oh, you're you're just arguing about cosmetics all the time. No, I'm arguing about stuff that's in the game. It's just we only have cosmetics to look at half the time, so like I'm using them as a point of reference. For when we get 3D renders of in-game stuff, and when hey, this is what we got in front of us. I'm talking about this right now. So I think that's where like some of the like misconceptions of like where my arguments come from and go for that.
No, I see where your argument is going, and I know and I agree with it that there's a lot of freeholds that from they just don't make sense. They look dope, but they don't make sense from like what building. Like for example, the volcano one, the volcano shrine. I don't know what does this go to. The majority of the freeholds that we're getting, I feel like don't really fit like the normal house. So okay, well, no, they do, but you know the scale, like for example, all those you know, all the swamp Asian buildings, they look huge as well. But then if you look at the freehold video footage that we are getting, they would look really silly if they're getting downscaled. So
it's a giant tower that we got with my favorite, like the Thunder Beast, my favorite fucking mount so far.
Yeah, so,
my favorite gliding mount so far. Giant tower. This is a giant arena. Looks like a big ass fucking arena. There's several freehold skins that like you don't know what they go to. There's several boat skins, animal skins that are like you could question like, oh, this go to a gliding mount. This goes like some of the times they're like very like sometimes it's straight up like you could guess what this goes to, but and like support like don't buy the cosmetics, don't pay to get in the alpha unless you're wanting to support the game.
exactly.
Like that's for straight off the bat. But this is a criticism about the show. That isn't an excuse of why this stuff shouldn't be in the description as well. Like to say like, hey, this is what you're buying. That's like saying, hey, this is meant to support the game is not an excuse, or like it doesn't justify not having this in there. Like not saying this is what you're paying for. When you are supporting the game, and when you're saying I'm getting this should be saying like what I'm paying, what I'm getting, what I'm paying for.
Yeah, I mean it's just a tricky thing because they also don't know exactly how they want to make the building.
So and to that, I would argue, if you're not sure, don't sell it.
Here's something that I want to bring up if we're talking about this. Any person that still argues that these cosmetic sets are something, you know, you can put or relate to what's it called, fear of missing out. I think if you say that, then you know you shouldn't be talking about the subject at all, because anybody that buys these cosmetics without reading up on them, doing their own research, right, and coming to the same conclusions that we are, should not buy cosmetics, period. If you keep buying cosmetics month after month because you fear you're missing out something, but you don't know how half the cosmetics are gonna work, right, then I'm sorry, you should not own a credit card or pay for anything yourself.
So, yes. All right, so like the argument, not argument. The thing that was stated before, like everyone here has a bunch of cosmetics,
yeah,
and we don't have the same kind of like our thing is like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be using that. Is that we have so many that we don't know if we're going to be using it. There's another argument. There's the opposite side of that is that like someone that's bought this for like the first time and like this is the cosmetic they're going to have, they don't know if they're going to be able to use that. Like,
I know, and you should understand that before buying into it. I bought.
You should understand that. You should understand that before you buy into it. Yes, but the cosmetics don't say what this goes to. Like that. Yeah, I know. That's my argument here.
No, I get that. No, I agree. I agree. That is the point. If you don't understand this specific fact, that most of the cosmetics, they don't say what they go to, especially in regards to the freeholds. I mean, the mounts and the ships, that's pretty self-explanatory in some regards. Right? Then if you don't understand that, then don't buy into Ashes.
I agree, But I don't want to put all the fault on the consumer for buying something that they don't understand. I also want to like it is partly on Intrepid for not stating like, hey, this freehold skin goes to this building.
I know. I agree with that, but then I'm also saying, don't claim that people, you know, this is a fear of missing out tactic, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
If you buy cosmetics because you without understanding that there's still a lot of information missing in regards to what the cosmetics go to, then like I said, you should not be owning a credit card, period.
I don't know. I don't think we have to be that aggressive with it, but it's like,
super aggressive.
I guess, I think in Travis' defense, it like, you're buying the skin, you'll be able to use this in game. It doesn't say what it will do. I guess on their side, it's like, they're not saying what it will do. If you still buy it, not knowing what it'll do or if it'll do anything.
I mean, okay, so you see, here's what
I don't think you should assume that it'll do something and then be disappointed if it doesn't.
Let me put it this way. I'm pretty sure the majority of all the ship skins that I own are for a large ship that need like the maximum amount of people possible to run them. So I'm not going to use them on a daily basis. I do understand also that Intrepid is not labeling exactly what this goes to. Like ship, let's stay with the ships. 1-person ship, 5-person ship. They're not labeling it, but it's a cool ship skin, a cool cosmetic. It looks really cool as a concept art. And if you then decide to buy it without understanding this fact that it's not labeled, this could be for anything, right? Regarding ships, right? If you don't understand that, and then later on you complain, then I don't think that's a valid point. And then
because you can just wait. Like,
exactly.
If you want to, so you could just wait. If you're trying to get like all the skins for whatever ships, you could just wait till the game's released or till we have more information on what these skins will be.
Exactly.
And then buy future skins that are what you want.
Buy future skins. I think the ship is like you're gonna use the ship like no matter what size. Like yes, it kind of sucks if you buy a larger ship and you're not gonna be using it like all the time. I think those are far more justifiable than the freehold skin. Like the freehold skins, possibly some of the pets. Not pets. The mounts. Freehold skins, straight up. Like if I bought a blacksmith stand, but I don't plan on being a blacksmith in game, then I can't use that. I'm not like I either have to dedicate to be using I have to change my plans. Say, hey, I'm gonna be doing blacksmithing stuff to be able to use this freehold skin I bought, or I'm just out of the $25 I spent on the freehold skin. It's honestly just a criticism. I'm not like. But there is, yes. If you don't know what it is, you should not be spending your money on it. Like fully, so it's full in support of the game.
Well, I mean,
when
you
do
know
this.
kind of what
but,
it is. You know, you're getting a skin for something that you'll be able to put on a freehold.
Don't know, but you don't know if you're gonna be able to use.
Building will do.
No, but
you should.
I don't understand how people.
I don't think you should. Like, if they're not going to tell you, like, they're just telling you you're getting this. I guess I feel like you're coming at this from like a.
That's like buying a can of soda and not knowing what brand of soda it is. Buy a non-labeled can. Like buy a non-labeled can of soda, and it could be Pepsi, it could be Dr. Pepper.
But even if we knew what it was, it's not like you know if you're actually like in your example of the blacksmith. If you don't know you're going to be a blacksmith, maybe you're like, I think I'm going to be a blacksmith, but then you're like, okay, well,
but you more solidly know. But you're going to be more solidly know. Like if it labeled, hey, this goes to a blacksmith building, then you know, hey, I'm buying a blacksmith building. It's not like I'm buying this cosmetic skin, and then like thinking that I'm going to be able to use it in the game, and then automatically like realizing, oh. I bought this at the time thinking like I could put on anything, but in reality, it only goes to a blacksmith stand. It's like it's not even an argument of like you just didn't know, you just didn't read the information at the time. You didn't read the information at the time. You didn't like that's on you. This is a straight up. They're not giving you the information. Like they're not giving you, hey, this is a blacksmith stand. They're not giving you the information that you need to know to make the appropriate purchase.
I guess what I'm saying is, but there will be a building that this goes to.
Yes, but
and you
you
will
There-
build
yes.
that building. Yes, it might not be the most optimal building for whatever you want to do, but I mean, one thing, like, it's kind of obvious that this is not going to be something that maybe a crafter would want. So if a crafter,
This is by far the most boring conversation.
yeah, I
we
know
had.
we're going in a weird.
It's
think
a decent
Yoni's
argument. It's a decent argument, and I don't think it's boring. I don't think it's boring.
Yoni's
That's up for debate.
Yoni's the only one that loves cosmetics.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, we know why. It's not like they're holding it back because they want to. They're holding it back because they don't know, and they need to keep it open-ended so they're
Yeah, but
free.
they're not also.
don't-
You see, like,
This isn't even a cosmetic argument right now. This is a financial. This is a financial argument.
I mean,
They're not putting out the appropriate information for people to make this sound like a sound
Exactly.
financial decision.
like they're
I
not.
kind of disagree with that, though. Just because
No,
you will be able to build a building, and you will
Yes.
be able to apply this cosmetic
Yes,
to that building.
yes, but
Just because it doesn't meet your in-game desires, I don't think changes that.
But they're not like so. Yet again, they're not putting out the information that you need to make yes, it's a freehold skin, but because it's a freehold skin is not enough information to make the appropriate decision. You need to know what kind of freehold skin this what kind of freehold building this goes to. It needs to be stated like, hey, this goes to an altar. This is just this is a house freehold skin, or like that whatever the fuck you want to call that, your house. This goes to a animal husbandry pen. This goes to some of them you can guess, some of them you can just flat out guess, but others we have to be more. There's a lot of guesswork involved, and there shouldn't be any guesswork involved. This should straight up say like, this goes to a blacksmith. This goes to a blacksmith station.
I guess the angle I've been always trying to come with this is like, even if you knew that, if they said this goes to an arena, like, you don't really know what an arena is. You also don't really know if you want an arena or you'll need an arena. Like, you don't know what you'll be doing. Because you don't have
that's
that
making
recipe.
that's on you.
Have more
That's not on the company. That's on you for making a
assumption.
knowing that it's a blacksmith station and making the purchase that knowing it's a blacksmith station, and then later on deciding I'm not going to do blacksmithing.
Well, no
that's
one
on
knows
you.
what they'll be doing though in the game because we don't have the game.
That's fine. That's yes. You're 100%
that's where
right.
I'm coming as. There's no way someone could know what they'll
But
let me
ask you this. In regards to the arena is so big in the picture that like 5 freeholds would fit in it.
It's I think it would take up the entire freehold spot.
Look at
based
it.
on the size.
Look at the.
It's like half the freehold size is like half the size of a football stadium.
Look at.
I don't know. I've been like looking at videos and trying to compare, and yeah, it looks like either it'd be shrunk something.
You're basing it off of the videos that we've gotten off of freehold buildings, and that's not the appropriate size of a freehold size.
Okay. I didn't.
I still think
it felt a little small from what I remembered, but okay. So freeholds will be bigger than what we've seen.
I still say
they've already announced the size of freehold. I just don't know the exact size of.
We're going in circles, and I don't think we have any else to talk about. And I'm just gonna call it quits for today, boys.
I still wanna. Yeah, it's half an acre.
Okay, what do you want to talk about, Yoni?
That's a decent. No, I still want to go on the argument. He's like. Because I mean, Sack's arguing the opposite into my thing, and I'm arguing for the thing. Like it's still an argument going on. Like if you want to end it, we can end it. But
like, well, no, I don't see the argument. Like we know the facts. We know that a lot of the cosmetics are not being labeled or explained what they go to, and we know a lot of people assume that something goes to something without having any sort of proof. And isn't that pretty much it?
That's the argument, yes. But there's still like 2 sides to it. Yeah, my argument is that the information should be provided, and then Sackerson's argument is that like the information provided already is adequate.
I wouldn't say it's adequate. I just don't know if the extra information is as helpful as you think it would be.
I mean,
given the current state of the game.
Let me put it this way. If I'm somebody that cannot afford a lot of things, but I can afford one cosmetic pack, and I always prefer to play a blacksmith. And now I see, I don't know, a set with like an elvish.
That's
build.
not the argument. That's not the
I'm
argument.
getting there. I'm getting there. And I see, you know, I buy a cosmetic set with some elvish stuff, which I then assume, because, you know, nothing says otherwise, that I can use this on my freehold as my smith, as my, you know, like my blacksmith. And then game comes out, and then all of a sudden it tells me, oh yeah, you can only apply this to, I don't know, alchemy buildings. Is that fair?
It's one of those things where if that scenario happened, I think that would be something we would have to actually have it happen and then discuss it. Maybe they could make it so if it looks like it could fit on a smith, they could categorize it or make it so they could make it so it fit on a smith soon.
Yeah.
Still, I would assume they could be like, this is an alchemy and a smith building, if that was really.
I'm going based on the assumption that a lot of buildings will fit a lot of roles. Like, for example, like the housing. I can see a lot of the buildings that we got work as the housing part, right? But then again, we have seen buildings like, you remember that fire shrine?
Yeah.
I don't see that working as like a house.
No.
You see that? You see, like that's why.
We don't even know what kind of building that would go to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but if they end up at a point where they have to categorize cosmetics to go to a certain type of building, you know, they should also allow people to get a refund or change or do something, right? Just because I feel like that would be fair, because if people bought something because they liked it, right, and they assumed because there is nothing that made them believe otherwise. Like, for example, the fire shrine, right? If I assumed, oh yeah, this is a shrine of the gods, I can, you know, craft mighty weapons here, but now it then turns out that it's nothing like it, right? But it didn't say anything otherwise.
Now, I 100% believe that'll be a shrine, but you're not going to be crafting mighty weapons of the gods. That's something like we already know you can turn churches. I'm making the assumption that it's a shrine, but we already know you can turn your freehold into a church, into a tavern. If you turn to a church, you're pretty much praying to it to get buffs. That you're not crafting mighty weapons of the gods there.
All right. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna call it quits for the day because it's late here and I still have to get back. But
episode 99. This was episode 99.
Was episode
next
99?
One is next one is episode 100.
See, this is why we talk about cosmetics. We were able to talk about cosmetics the whole hour.
I know.
Yeah.
We talked about cosmetics.
I could fill in another. I could probably fill in another hour with an argument about this.
I know you can. That's why I'm stopping now. And no, but everybody keep an eye out. We got some announcements coming up next weekend, and we will be back in 2 weeks.
You cut out like halfway.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We will be back in 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to be in a better place at that point.
Keep an eye out for a special announcement.
Exactly. And again, yeah, if I cut out during the whole thing, I'm sorry. This is all makeshift right now for me. But yeah, we will be back in 2 weeks. Later.
Boy.